thought of doing something purely for you to pursue your dreams, goals, or passions, it might feel selfish. But here's the thing, it's not selfish, it's necessary. Welcome back to Nest to Next, her new chapter. In our last episode, we talked about how this new chapter of life, your children leaving the nest, opens up a world of possibilities for you. I hope that you did spend the time documenting your emotions of this transition, as well as a list of activities that things you used to enjoy or always wanted to try, but just didn't have the time before the role of mom took over. Today, we're diving into the essential step in this journey, rediscovering yourself. For you spent years, maybe decades being mom. Who are you beyond that role? Do you even remember what lights you up or what wakes you up early and gets you out of bed in the morning? Many moms find that in the whirlwind of raising children, they've lost sight of their passions or dreams, or even their identity. So let's begin the journey of finding you again. I think we can all agree that motherhood changes you from that moment that you held your sweet baby in your arms. Your life was no longer just about you. You've given so much of yourself to your children, but in the process, it's easy to lose sight of things that make you, well, you. So, uncommon to feel a bit lost or maybe even a little scared when you have the potential question of, who am I now? This is a completely normal feeling, but here's the exciting part. You get to rediscover yourself. You have the freedom to reconnect with who you were before motherhood, or better yet, to discover new aspects of yourself that you've never had time to explore. And really diving into that right now. And it's just amazing. One of the best ways to start the process of rediscovery is through self reflection. It doesn't have to be complicated. Here are a few simple ways to begin reconnecting with yourself that I've just learned along the way. Number one, journaling. Grab a notebook and start writing about your feelings, your dreams, or even your fears. What makes you happy? What have you always wanted to do but never had time for? Number two, meditation. Just spend 5 to 10 minutes each day sitting quietly, go in the closet if you have to, focusing on breath and letting thoughts come and go. It could really make space for new ideas and possibilities. Number three, personality assessments. If you're feeling a bit stuck, take a personality test or an interest inventory. There are a lot of resources online. It might help you have insight into what you naturally enjoy or what you're good at and where you should focus your energy. Think back. Think back in time before you became a mom. What did you love to do? What brought you joy? Revisit those activities, even if it's just in small ways. You might find the things you loved before still hold meaning to you now. Rediscovering yourself doesn't have to be a huge undertaking. Start small. Maybe you love to paint, but you haven't picked up a paintbrush in years. Set aside 30 minutes this week, just one evening, to paint again. Did you love hiking or dancing? Schedule time this week so you can get back out there, even if it's just for an hour. The key here is giving yourself permission to pursue joy. It might feel strange at first, especially after years of putting others first, but you deserve to do things just for you. And I have to bring up this next topic because for myself, I found before I can move forward in pursuing something great that I love, I am often roadblocked to success and happiness. And that topic is self sabotage. You may have heard the term before, but what does it really mean? Why do you sometimes unwillingly hold ourselves back from achieving what we really desire? Self sabotage. Self sabotage is the act of hindering your own progress, whether consciously or subconsciously. It's that voice inside that whispers, you're not good enough, or convinces you to procrastinate, give up, or doubt yourself. The tricky part is that it often disguises itself as logic. I'm too old for this. What if I fail? Maybe this isn't the right time. Sound familiar? Let's be clear, self sabotage doesn't come from a place of weakness. In fact, it's often the mind's way, your mind's way of protecting us from failure, or rejection. But what it's really doing is keeping us from growth. The origins of self sabotage can be complex and everybody's different. They might stem from experiences in childhood, past failures, or fear of the unknown. And many of us, especially women, societal expectations play a huge role. We've been told to prioritize others, our families, our children so much so that when it's time to focus on ourselves, it feels unnatural. It's even uncomfortable. And in the case of single moms or women who've dedicated years to raising their kids, there may be an additional layer of guilt. The thought of doing something purely for you to pursue your dreams, goals, or passions, it might feel selfish. But here's the thing, it's not selfish, it's necessary. Step to overcoming self sabotage is recognizing it. Some common patterns of self sabotage include procrastination, putting off tasks or goals because you're afraid of failure or success. Number two, negative self talk. That inner critic that tells you you're not smart enough, young enough, or capable enough. Number three, perfectionism. Simple, setting impossible standards. I'm also doing that. So when you can't meet them, you stop trying. Number four, overcommitting, filling your time with tasks and obligations to avoid focusing on your personal goals. Take a moment to reflect. Do any of these sound familiar? They're often subtle, but powerful ways that we hold ourselves back. So, how do we break free from the cycle of self sabotage? Here are a few steps, again, that I've learned along the way. Number one, acknowledge it. The first step to change is awareness. Once you realize you're self sabotaging yourself, stop it. You're already halfway to overcoming it. Number two, challenge your inner critic. The next time you hear that voice telling you that you're not good enough, ask it. Ask the question. Ask yourself, is this really true? Often you'll find it's just fear talking. Number three, set realistic goals. Instead of setting yourself up for failure or with impossible standards, set small, achievable goals and celebrate every win. And number four, this is so important. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Understand that no one is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. And in fact, mistakes and failures are part of the journey to success. And number five, find a support system. This is one of the reasons that I started this podcast, whether it's a friend, a coach, or community like minded women, having people who believe in you can make all the difference. So as you step into this new chapter of your life, as we start thinking about it, remember that self-sabotage doesn't have to be part of your story. You have the power to rewrite the narrative, to believe in yourself, and to pursue the dreams you've put on hold. This week, I want you to choose one activity that you used to love or always wanted to try, and make time for it. Just one small thing that brings you happiness. Remember, you are more than just a mom. You are a whole, vibrant person with passions and dreams that deserve your attention. Join me next week as we explore how to turn your rediscovered passions into actionable goals for your future. Until then, keep rediscovering yourself one step at a time. You got this.